Hi, my name is Jessica Kobolinski with Honestly, and I'm here with my guest today. Let you introduce yourself.
Hi, Jessica. I'm Kimberly Molitor, and I am the Executive Director of Teen Empower.
Teen Empower. Tell us a little bit about Teen Empower.
So Teen Empower, we're a local nonprofit. We're actually a direct service organization, which means we go into the schools. We go into some local middle schools and high schools and teach high quality sexual health education directly to the youth, to the students while they're in the classrooms.
Great. What are some ways that you have engaged with Honestly as the backbone organization, providing technical assistance, some data and evaluation support?
Yeah, so Teen Empower, we get to engage with Honestly in a variety of areas. A lot of that is just regularly held meetings, either collaboration-wide meetings or some smaller just education network meetings. Also outreach or networking opportunities. But I think a big area where Honestly supports Teen Empower is through trainings. If it's training our educators on programs that we're teaching, or any other supplemental lessons that are beneficial for our educators to have before they go into the classrooms.
So why is collaboration important to the work that you do?
Collaboration is important because it's hard for just one organization to make a big change or impact on certain issues, especially when the issues around sexual and reproductive health for our youth. So being able to work with organizations like Honestly and other members who are passionate in the community about this issue just helps create more awareness around it.
What changes have you seen in the community, given your work and the work with Honestly?
So one of the biggest changes that we've seen is a reduction in teen birth rate in Oklahoma County. Over the past decade, it's been reduced by 50%. Teen Empower has a small part of that, being able to go and educate with some of our other education partners, like Teen Clinic with Variety Care and Oklahoma City County Health Department. But honestly, their support is being in the community. They're creating more awareness around sexual health and sex education in schools. And so having them as a partner and advocating for the work that we're doing is a big part of how we get to do things. So I think a lot where Teen Empower can use some support from Honestly, a bigger organization who has a bigger capacity is going to be with evaluation and stuff, because we just don't have that anymore. And to be able to have data around what are the teen birth rates in Oklahoma County is beneficial to Teen Empower, because then that helps us when we're going into schools, and we can kind of, it highlights the work that we do and how impactful it can be with providing these youth these programs so they know how to make informed, healthy decisions as they are getting older. But it's also important for parents, caregivers, administrators, other stakeholders to see what that impact is for Oklahoma County and for the students there.
So Teen Empower, your name leads to empowering the youth, youth being your primary target. How do you do that? How do you empower the youth that you work with?
So aside from giving them these tools and skills and resources from the curriculum we teach them, we also work with high school students. It's called our SHAPE. It's a peer education program, where we actually get to recruit and then train these high school students to teach with us in the classrooms to their local middle schools. And so it's a really great peer-to-peer, almost mentorship of like, hey, y'all, I've been where you were literally 2 years ago. I know the pressures you're facing right now, and I know some pressures you're going to face in high school. So let's talk about that, how you navigate those conversations, how you create some of those healthy relationships as the middle school students are growing up and entering into high school.
I think what's great that we've seen in our community is some of your youth coming through the program, becoming educators, moving on, going to college. Some have gone to school to get their master's in public health and have come back as educators and been a part of the backbone, our organization, to try and spread that impact. So I think it's just a beautiful way of the pipeline of empowering our youth to inspire them for their careers, to come back and be a part of our collaboration and keep continuing your work. It's a beautiful testament to what y'all do.
Thank you. But yes, it is very true. We've had the educators, some of them are now teachers, and they're teaching programs for us in their own schools locally. We've had some go off and just create more awareness about why this public health issue is so important, especially in Oklahoma and in Oklahoma County.
So recently, the state of Oklahoma has lost millions of dollars in federal funds to in teen pregnancy prevention. This has affected Honestly. It's also affected Teen Empower. What are some of the gaps in services that funding has left, and how has it impacted you?
So it's impacted Teen Power greatly. We were a bigger organization. We had more educators on our staff, so we were able to go into more schools and teach more grade levels than what we currently have now. We are down to just one educator, but we're still out there. We're doing what we can. Our schools, we have a long-standing relationship with our schools, so they completely understand where we're at in this transition year with Teen Empower. So we're out there. We're trying to get some more funding so we can keep those doors open and really just still be there for the students and the youth that we work with.
So what are the youth that you work with saying about the services you provide or the education they receive from you?
I think a big one that always sticks out to me is when we hear that they have the right to say no. And I think that just like, it gets to you because it's, they're in this mindset of like, well, I thought I had to do that because it was my partner and they were wanting to, but it's like, I have the right to say no. I have control over my own body. Or just by the end of our programs, it's, I didn't want to do this in the beginning, but I love this and what y'all are doing is great. Like I didn't know half the stuff and I thought I knew everything. And so that just tells us how important it is for them. They also have opportunities to answer or to ask questions that maybe they don't have anybody else in their life that they can ask these questions to. And so being able to answer their questions accurately is a really big part of what we do.
What about parents? Do you ever get feedback from your students' parents on the impact they may have had?
What we do hear from the parents is that they're glad that we were there to talk to them about it. A lot of our parents, they didn't have these conversations when they were younger, and so maybe they just don't feel equipped or know what to say or have the information or how to even start the conversations. And so we always like to say when we're in the classrooms with the students of, hey, your parents signed you up for this. They consented to you being here. So this is a good door opener to go home and be like, hey, we talked about this today in our class, and have that open dialogue. And so it can be a little bit less awkward since they know you are in this program right now.
So as an educator, I know you hear a lot of different things, myths and ideas from youth. What are some tips, tricks, ideas that you might have for the caregivers in their life that you use to help engage with youth on what they believe and what the facts are?
So I think one thing we like to use when we're engaging with our parents is we actually show them the question cards that the students write so they can see firsthand of like, these are what 6th graders are saying, this is what 7th or 8th or 9th graders are saying or they are asking.
Yeah.
And then we help them of how to answer those questions. So as an educator, when we're in the classroom, of course, we just stick to the accurate information. We don't push beliefs or anything like that. And a lot of the time, if they are belief type questions or permission seeking, like, is it okay if I do this? Is it okay if I do that? That's not up for our educators to decide. And so what we tell our parents is like, we encourage our students to go and talk to their parents, guardians, trusted adult, whoever they have in their life about that specific question. And so that they can kind of help guide them into what would be a healthy response to it.
What is your ideal relationship with the caregivers of the youth that you work with?
We want to be a resource for caregivers. We send out consent forms before we start teaching any program, so the students take home permission forms that their parents or guardians sign. And a part of that is we tell them, we do parent previews, so if they want to come and talk to us as the educators and learn more about the programs that their students are going to be hearing about, it has our contact information on there. And we let them know we are here for you also. And the same with teachers and administrators, we pass that information along to them of like, if you get the phone calls from the parents or guardians, send them our way. We want to talk to them, we want to engage with them, and we want to be a partner with them on having these conversations with their youth.